Ted Leonsis conducted exit interviews after the season concluded for the first time in 14 years as owner of the Capitals.
We conducted a lot of interviews, and on Thursday we spoke with Adam and with George. And yesterday Dick and I compared all of our notes, and it was late in the day when we made this decision.
Leonsis and team president Dick Patrick ultimately decided to let them go after the team failed to make the playoffs for the first time since 2007.
We were disappointed in the way the season ended, and that I didn't feel it was appropriate to make any decisions when you're emotionally wounded. We were left with the overall impression that the team wasn't trending towards being able to compete for Stanley Cup.
George McPhee was general manager for the last 17 years. During the 2003-2004 season, McPhee began a youth movement for the team, which resulted in selecting Alex Ovechkin as the first overall pick in the 2004 draft.
The last piece is the Stanley Cup, and I really believe this team is positioned to be back in the finals sometimes here in the next 3 years. It's going to be a really good team going forward.
Despite regular season success and winning the team's first President's Trophy in 2010, the Capitals were not able to make it past the conference semifinals after McPhee's first season with the team.
For 5 years, we really had an opportunity to win a cup. And then I thought for the last couple of years, we could make the playoffs, but going deep might be hard because I didn't think we were quite deep enough.
With Oates and McPhee gone, the Capitals are searching for their replacements. CSN Washington's Chuck Gormley weighs in on when we could see a new head coach and general manager.
If you don't have a GM in place, a lot of these guys that are making these decisions aren't sure whether they're going to be part of this a month or two from now. A new GM could mean a whole new scouting staff. So it's a very tenuous position to be in. I think ideally, like he said, he would much rather have it by maybe June 1st. Then you can move forward quickly. There's no issues like that entering the draft. If you hire a guy like Barry Trotz, who might be great for this team, you have to hire a GM who's on board with that after that happens, and that's not the way to do it. I mean, usually the GM wants to decide the coach.
The Caps will enter the offseason with over $13 million in cap space to work with. They traded goalie Yaroslav Halak to the Islanders and still need to make a decision about re-signing upcoming free agent Mikhail Grabovski. Thomas Harrelson, Terp Weekly Edition. In a report filed by the CDC, use of e-cigarettes among middle school and high school youth doubled between 2011 and 2012. Dr. Stephen Heischman is worried about the long-term effects.
There are the benefits in the sense that you're not inhaling all the tar and the gunk that you find in tobacco cigarettes, but you are still potentially initiating a nicotine addiction in adolescents and maintaining that addiction in adults.
Research on the potential dangers of e-cigarettes has not caused the FDA to regulate the industry at this point. Until the FDA regulates e-cigarettes, it is left to the states to make laws banning minors from purchasing them. Thomas Harrelson, Terp Weekly Edition. In a matchup between two undefeated teams, Howard and Centennial faced off to determine the best record in the county. Howard played suffocating defense to win the game 8-2. Howard head coach Jimmy Creighton.
The guys are doing a great job watching film. They're doing a great job following the scout and executing the game plan.
Howard is now the only undefeated team in the county and faces another big test Friday when they face a 5-1 Glenelg team.
We approach every game the same. Obviously, this one had a little more, a little bigger than maybe some, just because they had beaten Glenelg and Glenelg hadn't lost so long.
Thomas Harrelson, Terp Weekly Edition.